Hello, hello, and welcome to the kickoff of our series In the Dressing Room with our incredible first guest, Studio One Boutique, and special guest, an AnaOno model, our dear, dear friend, JaimeLee of Spero-Hope. I am just so excited to kick off this series, not only to inform and educate you all about all of your options following a mastectomy, but also incredibly excited to put a spotlight on some of our awesome boutique partners across the United States. So that way you guys can really identify and find AnaOno in your local area. So you can grab a hold of our line, fit it, try it on, and better yet, oftentimes use your health insurance. So much information coming your way. I'm gonna bring Lori to the stage.
And we'll grab her here any minute. Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
How are you, beautiful people?
Hey.
Hey, I was just gushing over how we're so excited to have you guys as our first guests on our In the Dressing Room series. We are you are all-star boutique here in the Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois area, right? All three states.
Yeah.
And of course, our favorite, dear, lovely AnaOno model, JaimeLee. We're just so thrilled to have you both here. And thank you so much for joining in our series and helping to educate and empower breast cancer patients.
Dana, I have to give you a thank you because what you're doing for women, I'm seriously going to cry. Oh. It's amazing. It's amazing. And you've touched so many lives already. And this is a huge, huge, huge thing to be advocating for. And we're very thankful for your support and for putting all of this together and for what you're going to continue to do for women. So you're very near and dear to our hearts. And we just want to thank you as well.
Well,
I love you, Dana.
We can't love you guys both. We can't do this without you. You are such a huge, huge, vital piece of so much of what we go through. And not just us as patients and survivors, but how you give back to your community as well is just so honorable. And we know that this is such hard work. Like what we do is not just hard work because we're all women in business.
Sure.
We're advocating for our communities. We're supporting patients and survivors. And all of that just goes into the love and the empowerment of the entire community on its whole. So we're Absolutely. Just excited that you believed in us and our mission and helping support patients in the ways that we see are beautiful and empowering. And and of course, giving us information on how we can be better patients and use everything that we can use at our fingertips. So before we kick off into the nitty gritty, Lori, tell us a little bit about Studio One.
Okay. I'm not a good public speaker, so
you're going to do amazing.
Studio One was started by my mother a little over 30 years ago. It started out as a beauty salon. This is the hard part. Her best friend was diagnosed with bone cancer, and there wasn't much out there for her. So after my Aunt Cheryl passed, my mom decided that she would make it her life's mission to make sure that women had choices and things available to them. And we're in this small town, in Michigan. And so anyway, Mom converted her salon to a hair replacement specialty boutique. And in part of her training, she learned about the breast prosthesis because they kind of go hand in hand together. So she converted the salon to hair replacement specialty boutique, along with breast prosthesis and pocketed bras and compression and all of that. We then acquired another one, an affiliate sister store about 38 miles away in Indiana, in Mishawaka. And then one of the ladies that she had met during her training retired, and so we acquired her boutique, Naturally Yours, in the Willowbrook, Illinois area as well. So we have three. It is my mom, my sister, myself, my two daughters, and then we have a wonderful, a few staff members at each store that we consider family as well.
Oh my God. So a family business at its core. And I have to say, I just love you guys because you are in my old stomping grounds, being a Midwest Ohio girl myself. And I just know how much it means to you. I know how much this service means to you and your family and your mother and your sisters. And I just love that you guys bring like that heritage story of like, you know, your mom's generation was the generation that paved the way of these boutiques for cancer patients. I mean, I like literally have chills all over my body because like, if it really wasn't for them, like a generation of women that like weren't owning their own businesses.
Right.
And to step out of their homes and say, I have to do something for either myself or my friends or my family or my loved ones. I mean, I just like, to me, that's like, like
absolutely
super women, like super women. And what a great, amazing story. And Jaime, I know that so many are so familiar with you in our community, but we are so happy that you are in the neighborhood here to one of our favorite stores. Tell us first, before you tell everybody how you introduced me to Studio One, tell us a little bit about your cancer journey.
You froze. You froze. Repeat.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your cancer journey.
So I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2012. I have 2 boys. And at the time when I was first diagnosed, they were very young. I had a baby in diapers and a toddler. It's awful. It was really, really difficult. I did a bilateral mastectomy with the anticipation that I would get a breast reconstruction. So I did the bilateral. I went through chemotherapy, which was, again, extremely hard when you have a baby that you're trying to care for and, you know, kind of navigate these fields that you're not, you know, you don't have any knowledge of in the past. So I went through chemo. I, you know, did an oophorectomy. I did all the stuff I needed to do, and I attempted to do breast reconstruction. I got the expanders placed, and I had them for about a month, and they kind of gradually fill your expanders till where, you know, you want to be size-wise. And I ended up with a really bad infection. So we live in a small town here, and I went to the hospital, and my pulse was so high that they would not release me. And I went by ambulance to a bigger city, Chicago, actually. And I was there for, I believe, 7-8 days. And I was finally released on my oldest son's 6th birthday. And I got home around 10 o'clock, and, you know, we had a cake, and I went back 3 days later, and I had them both removed. And I knew at that point I was never going to do breast reconstruction again. It just was not going to be in the cards for me. But then I needed to figure out how to move forward, and that was hard. And you know, I know people see me on social media and they think that I just rock this flat chest, but it was a process. That's really not the way it started. It took me time to kind of, you know, work through my feelings and get there. And of course, as you know, now I do rock my flat chest, and I'm proud of my journey. I also wear the custom breast prosthesis, and I'm a huge advocate of that, because for me, the implants didn't work out, but this was the second best avenue for me to go, to be able to still, you know, I wanted to be able to have, you know, a chest, and but I wanted that, I guess, to be an option. And I always make the joke that my boobs are kind of more like an accessory for me. So,
well, you know, we also make the joke that you go both ways. So flat or boobs, whatever you prefer.
That's right. That's right.
So this is like Boss Babe Central. Tell us a little bit about your boss babeness and how you made, you know, even had the idea and the openness to introduce me to Lori in the first place.
Okay, so I started my company, Spero-Hope, and we do all clean products. Everything's in glass, because I'm not a big fan of plastics. We do natural deodorants and body butters. And that's what they look like.
Aren't they the cutest?
Ah, the cutest. I love my Spero-Hope deodorant.
I
Everybody.
know. And
It's
we do
amazing.
it as a paste, because this is your lymphatic line right here, and 95% of breast cancer is diagnosed in this upper quadrant. So you're almost mimicking a self-exam. Every time you put it on, you're learning your new normal, and you're going to notice if you feel any changes. So that was the premise behind it. So we did that, and we started to gain traction on social media, and it was an amazing, I never anticipated it to be like that. We've had celebrities and different people that were supporting us, which was awesome. And you and I had actually met each other at the beginning of my diagnosis and yours. You weren't that far out either when you had kind of first started AnaOno. And the first year you had New York Fashion Week, we had talked, I was going to come out, but we were doing pink tie ball, and I kind of couldn't get away at the time.
Couldn't be at two places in one time.
Right. And so I ended up doing, I think I did a photo shoot with you first, and I literally fell in love with all your products.
I think that's right, yeah.
And then, you know, I had products at Studio One and Lori's boutiques, and I was telling her how amazing these bras are, because they're perfect for if you're flat and you want to just rock your flat chest, or if you want to wear your prosthesis, because they also fit very nicely and you can kind of see nipple in this lace. So that's kind of a sexy thing too. So she kind of fell in love with your products also.
Well, you know, we were at a pink tie ball meeting the first time. Yeah. She got your bras, and we're sitting there sharing this big pretzel, and we're talking bras in the middle of the restaurant. And yeah, the fabric is not something that I had, and it was like ding, 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 ding. You know, so yes, awesome.
It's amazing. I mean, this is what happens when women support women.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like the perfect storyline of like when we band together, we can always make improvements and change the lives of others. So speaking of, we are here today to talk about custom breast forms.
Correct.
And this is such an important topic for our community. First of all, just to go like into 101, what I want to just remind all of the community members that are listening, once you undergo a mastectomy surgery, you have insurance benefits outside of the doctor's office that helps you cover supplies like mastectomy forms, mastectomy bras, post-surgical garments. And only because I know Jaime, I know she's wearing a sexy ass wig right now. So I do know.
No, I'm not. This is me.
Wait, is that your real hair?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's gotten so long. No, stop. You're joking.
It's a wig, girl.
Okay, I was going to say, I was like, okay, I know it's been COVID. This is a whole nother hair growth length.
We like to specialize in camouflage, you know, so.
Listen, I almost was like, oh my God, you straightened it? It's grown 8 inches. I don't know anymore. But yeah, like all of these, like these are all products, and even Lymphedema, I always say Lymphedema because this is a problem. Lymphedema, but Lymphedema sleeves at compression garments also at these boutiques. So these are all things that your health insurance must cover for you. So
there are some exceptions.
Yes, we were going to talk about the exceptions.
Okay.
But yes, we're going to talk to this, but you have the right to the coverage of most of these in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
So we are going to talk about the exceptions because that's the downer part.
Right.
But let's start with the idea, and just to back that up, 101, you have to go to a certified DME mastectomy boutique that has all of the regulations and all of the coverage and all of the insurance contracts in order to utilize those benefits. So that's why finding somebody like Studio One, Naturally Yours in your area is going to be so pivotal to being able to access some of these things that you need.
So some insurance companies will allow you to file on your own because not all boutiques have insurance contracts. We have insurance contracts through the tri-state area, but some do not. They're smaller. A lot of boutiques are small. Some of them are one person owned and ran, you know. I know through COVID, there were quite a few that were shut down. There are a lot of regulations. We have to go through accreditations and audits. It's really pricey to keep up your certifications and things of that nature, which are protecting the patients, you know. You have to make sure that you are protecting their privacy and you're abiding by the rules and, you know, you're keeping your notes and your records and so on and so forth. So that way it may seem like a lot, but in the long run is what's best for the patient. So, yeah, they're few and far between. There are durable medical equipment suppliers, but they don't necessarily, they may offer, they don't necessarily fit professionally. And there is a difference between just somebody who supplies DME products and someone who is accredited and certified as a post-mastectomy fitter.
Thank you so much for outlining that, because I think the other important part is when you have a boutique in your area, call them.
Yes. Yes.
Find out, do you have the things that I need?
Right.
Because they're going to know.
Yep.
And do you cover, are you covered within my health insurance benefits?
Correct. Yes.
So call first, save yourself the time, do all of those things, and then, you know, you'll make your appointment, you'll schedule your appointment, they'll have everything set up and ready for you to come and visit.
Yeah.
So all of that being said, you guys have access to all of those products at your boutiques, correct?
Yes.
So anything you need in the area, call them. We're going to be putting all of their information in the live, in the YouTube, on our blog. Everything's going to be readily available for you. But let's dive into custom breast prosthetics.
Okay.
101.
Love.
What is a custom breast prosthetic?
Okay, so you have options. When you have a mastectomy, you have option of reconstruction. You have option of off the shelf, which is just a generic. Yes, they have different shapes and fullness and size and all this kind of other things, but basically it's very generic, okay? And it's not customizable to you. Not every surgery is the same. Not every woman's sensitivity is the same. Scar tissue, swelling, you know, all of these certain things that go into putting something back on the chest wall. So if reconstruction is not an option, or you don't want to, and you don't want the pocketed, you know, off the shelves, custom is going to be the next best thing. I personally am an advocate for the custom for multiple reasons. One is because so many women cry because they couldn't find anything to fit them properly. I had a lady that's Medicare, and she came in and she cried because she finally found something that was comfortable after 20 years of going with regular off the shelf that were hot and heavy and so on and so forth. Now, with that being said, innovation is an amazing thing. And this will be my 26th year in October, and they have come a long way from what they used to be, you know? So there's nothing wrong with off the shelf, but if you need something, if you're a harder fit or you want something, let me rephrase that. There are basically no limitations or restrictions with the custom breast prosthesis as there are with off the shelf. You can swim in them. You can go in a sauna. You can do sports. They're so lightweight. You know, you can wear them in a regular bra. It doesn't have to be in a pocketed bra. They don't shift or move if your, you know, bra is fit properly. They're about 45% lighter than an off the shelf. It is extremely important. If you go flat, that's fine. But if you're a unilateral, or if you're used to being, you know, just kind of do this sort of a thing if you're used to having the chest and the heaviness in front. Over time, that's going to cause a roundness in the back, and then you're going to get subluxations along the spinal column and have issues later on down the road. If you're unilateral, the body wants to subconsciously protect, and so you could do this, and then you got weight on the other side, and so then you do this, and that's over time. So it is very important, even though it's not fully weighted, it's weight and it's something against the chest wall so that you automatically straighten up. It's just something that the body just automatically does. If it's too light, it's going to ride up into the, you know, into the neck area. So there's a lot of reasons, and that's why health-wise, the insurance company is mandated by the Women's Healthcare Act to allow for coverage.
That's amazing. Jaime, I know you love your custom breast form.
I do.
Tell us why you love your custom breast form.
I love them for so many reasons, but one, I actually have one in this pocket and nothing in this pocket, but I don't know if you can kind of see. Yeah, this is actually in a pocket because we wanted you to be able to see the fact that it has a nipple and you can kind of see it through the lace. So I'm not sure if you can see that or not.
No, there you go. Yeah, you can see it a little bit.
But it's beautiful, and it really looks natural, especially in the AnaOno bras, because there's so many options where there's lace involved and you can see the nipple through the lace, and that's sexy, you know? I mean, that's like very sexy. So yeah. So I mean, I love.
Is that an off the shelf, Lori?
That's off the shelf.
Okay.
And then this is Jaime's custom.
Okay. Got it.
So,
Got it.
So you can kind of see, and you can see the fact that this has, you know, a nipple.
Mm-hmm. I loved, like, the first time I met you and you put your custom prosthetic on, you go, oh, I can see my nipples.
I know.
I will never, ever forget that moment.
Your bras are like the only one where you can see them. And it's awesome. Like, one of the perks of having the customs is the nipple, but every other bra, you can't see the nipple. And that, it gives you that sexy back, kind of. You want to be able to see that. So that's one of the reasons why I love the customs. They look so natural. And a lot of people that don't know me are like, when they see pictures of me flat, they're like, what? Like, I didn't know your boobs weren't attached to your body. You know, people were shocked when I actually showed my flat chest because I had been wearing customs and no one knew. So it's nice. They can, if there's a palette, there's actually a color palette and they match it to your skin tone and they have tons of different options. So that's been one of the major perks too. But I mean, you know, so I go flat also. I go both ways, as you know.
I love it. So now, Lori, tell us when a patient comes into the store, how do you know if they're a candidate for customs or not a candidate for customs? Or is it an open dialogue? Tell us how you navigate going off the shelf versus going customs.
It's a personal preference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a conversation that we start off with and we let them know what all of their options are. By the time they've come to us, they've already been through we try to see them before surgery for an after surgery garment. So when they leave the hospital, they have something very comfortable to wear home. Kind of like the Nina robe with the
We love that.
pouches.
Look at that. It's amazing.
Yes. So, I mean, it's about being comfortable. Okay. And, so where was I going? Oh, so anyway, by the time they come back, we usually fit them with prosthesis 3 to 6 weeks post-op.
So quick question to back up. Hopefully you see the patients before they go to surgery. So that's the most optimal point to make this appointment. Are you thinking about taking any pictures of their breasts before they're removed, or do you wait to have that conversation until after they're removed for the custom?
Not really, because they don't really know what their options are going to be. Some women just do have pictures of their boobs and some do not, you know, so it really just depends on what they're comfortable with.
Okay.
But there's so much thrown at them. Diagnosis, okay, then treatment plan, then surgery options, and then, you know, where do you go from there? If you planned on having this road and then it went this, you know, took this route, you know, then everything is just, it's so much. And so we try to be that segue for them to help them navigate which choices, you know, are best for them. That being said, we let them know what their options are. We have a plethora of off the shelf, like I said, because they are amazing, but custom is definitely something we offer to everyone. It is for unilateral. It is for bilateral. And it is also very much needed for reconstruction, failed reconstruction, prophylactic, partial, yeah, thank you. Partial mastectomy and lumpectomies as well. Because those are a little bit harder to match with off the shelf. And not that it can't be done, but it's just a little bit harder to match. And then some reconstructions are a little higher, some drop, some don't, depending on the scar tissue. If the skin's been radiated, then it kind of shrinks up and it gets a little taut. Sometimes, you know, it just depends on how much they were able to stretch, or if the expander needed to be removed and they changed their mind and didn't want to do an implant. There's some skin variations and deviations on the chest wall. And so that's where the custom prides itself in being able to match the chest wall like a puzzle piece.
So there's no air pockets, there's no bubbles, there's nothing that's kind of popping up off of your chest. This really does feel like an extension, because it is matching your body, which I really love about it, because I feel like when you can touch it and feel it against your skin, it kind of, you know, you feel natural wearing it rather than just plopping it in, plopping it out.
Right. And so the off the shelf are meant to go in the pocket. Okay. As long as the bras fit snugly, it shouldn't shift around, but it's still going to shift around a little bit. The polyurethane bag that the silicone is in is still kind of slippery, you know? But the silicone is made so that it's a gripper. It's not an adhesive. It doesn't stick to you. But when put on the chest wall with the bra applied and fit properly, excuse me, it won't shift. It shouldn't shift, which is nice.
So Jaime, tell us, what does it feel like on your body? Tell us how you, like, how does the form, give us as many descriptors to kind of say, you know, what that feeling and sensation is when it touches your skin.
Well, as you know, because you had breast cancer, you don't really have a whole lot of feeling on your chest. So, I mean, it's a weird conversation, I guess, because you don't have a ton of feeling there. I mean, you just don't. And that kind of, if you had breast reconstruction or not, but it's nice to be able to have it against your chest because it really does feel very natural as opposed to doing something that had, and I can show you actually, let me.
Okay, so these are Jaime's actual custom. So these fit. Jaime's got a beautiful flat chest, especially after reconstruction. She's got a beautiful surgery site on both sides. So anyway, when we do the,
see how it like right here, it kind of fits perfectly in this concave area.
Yeah, step back just a little bit. Yep, you got it.
So if you went like that and you went like that, do you see how this is curved right here and it's going to fit exactly like that, almost like a perfect puzzle piece. Okay.
It really does like mimic that shape of a breast because it's not just a triangle piece on your body. It's actually shaped for your body.
Yeah. So that's like out, or that's, I mean, I'm sorry, this is not pocketed. I do like to pocket these though, because I like to see the nipple through.
Right. Right. So yeah, so your right side is just how it wears on your chest, which is another great feature of the AnaOno bras.
Right.
We're really well suited for going up and over the customs.
Right.
If you don't want to use the bra. I mean, I've seen you flip those boobs in and out in 2 seconds and I'm just like, she's a pro. Like she's got this.
Oh yeah. I flop these around like nobody's business.
Yes. Awesome. AnaOno bras have the ideal support for a custom breast prosthesis. Like hands down. Absolutely.
And I do think that they're a perfect option for all women, but I really think that young breast cancer survivors that are like used to sexy panties and, you know, bras, and you don't want to give that up. You still want to have that, like, you know, ability to wear, an ability to wear something pretty and something sexy. And, you know, even if you're flat, I love that you guys have the flat bra because you still have that feminine beauty to it without having to actually wear a custom if you're not comfortable wearing a custom, because not everybody does that. So I like how it's versatile, and all of your bras that are lace are the most comfortable. Like anytime anybody sees lace, they're like, ooh, I don't know. And it's like the most amazing, most comfortable lace I've ever felt in my life. And I'm not even kidding you. I usually tend to break out a little bit, and it is perfection. So,
well, thank you so much. This was so informative. I also want to, Lori, pull out, do you have that partial one that you did for a woman with breast reconstruction?
I don't have that particular one that I showed you, but I do have a partial here. So,
because I think that's really important to share. Like my reconstruction is actually very, very flat on one of my sides because my scar is very tight. So I'm very flat. So you have this option to achieve some curvature with the custom prosthetics as a form to, or as a way to achieve symmetry,
balance and symmetry. Yep, absolutely. Yep. So like here is a color palette that the custom breast prosthesis offers. Okay. And so we usually choose, we use a proprietary software with an iPad and just take a series of scans and photos. And then we do an initial fitting first to make sure that you're balanced, or whatever size you want to be, especially if you're a bilateral or a unilateral, we balance you. And then if in your case, if it's reconstruction that we need to balance a little bit more, we kind of figure out what the difference is. And that's how they make these. So this is a left, no, leave it on there. Yep, you're good. I just want to use this. So this would be, for instance, if she was needing a little bit more balance here, come on up. It gets really, really paper thin.
Oh yeah, it's very thin.
Yeah.
Wow, look at how thin that is.
Yep.
Okay.
Very thin.
Yep.
Only in the areas that need be. This wraps up under. This fills out the apex of the bra. A lot of women have issues with reconstruction and filling out an apex because there is none. There is no, there is no drape or apex filler. So some bras, there's a little indentation that needs to be filled out, and that's where this would come in. So
Beautiful.
It's not necessarily, you know, and it's air thin on the back, and you just stick it right on the breast and then put the bra over it, and it holds it right on.
So now for a patient that's looking to achieve this balance and the symmetry, they would call a boutique, a local boutique to them and ask them if they have the capabilities of making a custom breast prosthetic. Is that correct? Or what's the patient's way of finding out if the boutique has what they need?
You can call the company themselves and find out where they have. We provide American Breast Care, custom breast prosthetic.
Very popular, yeah.
Their innovation is changing every year, you know, so they keep coming up with new and better ways from when we first started like 7 years ago. So you can call American Breast Care directly, and they can tell you who they have around the country, nationwide, where they have fitters that offer the custom breast prosthesis. Not all boutiques do, you know, so it just depends. And they can help navigate that way. I will offer it if anybody wants to, you know, just get in touch with me. I can be that segue, that avenue, and try to help find them one as well, if necessary.
Perfect. Amazing. Yeah, we love their custom breast forms. They're a fantastic organization.
Yes.
Always innovating, which is incredible.
That's
And then, so tell us about the technical process. What happen? How do you get a custom breast form made? What happens?
Okay, so that's like jaw dropping, you know. So like I said, we do the fitting. They have the software program on the iPad. We take the scans and the pictures, bra on and bra off.
Okay.
And then they'll mirror image whatever side you choose to model, if you will. And then the scans and pictures from the back will be the footprint for the back piece, the back of the prosthesis or prostheses.
Okay.
We send it on to the company, you know, their engineers and whatnot do their magic. From there, the nipple and areola and the skin portion of the prosthesis is hand applied by technicians. Then they inject it with the silicone and however they cook it or whatever they do there. From that point, well, there is a design review too between the fitter and the designer.
And this is all done on the iPad, correct?
Yes. Yeah. And we work one-on-one with them. So if I knew that Jaime was missing a little bit of tissue out here and she wanted to fill that in because she had a breast over here and this was taken out for no dissection or whatever, and I needed to match that over there. And even though she's wearing this bra, it would cover, but if she wore a different bra and it came down here, she still wants that tissue to balance over here. I need to make that known to them that yes, it doesn't matter if it shows outside of the bra, she wants under her clothing to be balanced everywhere. Okay. And then even cleavage wise, you know, if we have ladies that are a little bit heavier on the one side, and they put themselves in a push-up bra over here, and they've got a couple inches of cleavage, that prosthesis, which you cannot push up an off-the-shelf prosthesis, but I can give you a cleavage line that's going to butt up those two, your natural breast and that custom, and so underneath your shirt, you're not going to have any indentation or any vacancy there, if you will, because that's going to give you a nice, solid, flush chest wall. So I'm sorry, I'm getting parched.
That's okay. A lot of talking.
So anyway, so after that, then it goes to them. They make it. They ship it to us. We call the customer, let them know that it's been received. They come in and we walk them through how to put it on. Whatever bra we use to scan them in is going to be the ideal bra, but they can use any bra they want to.
Okay.
You just need to know that when you put it in the bra, it's not going to change in shape or drape or anything else, just like an off-the-shelf. But it will mimic the natural breast, remaining breast if you have one, in its natural uplifted position in a bra, because you want to make sure that they look alike. Or reconstruction-wise, you know, that one's already in place, and so you just fill it. And if it's bilateral, we just choose a form that we have, forms, and fill out. So for instance, Jaime, the off-the-shelf were really kind of shallow for her. So I just told the designer that she wanted more volume.
I wanted large boobs.
Yes. So they made them a little fuller for her. So it's a process that it's a team effort basically, and they are phenomenal, hands down.
So if somebody's coming in flat, where you're not kind of wearing a bra to mimic that breast, that remaining breast after a unilateral, you're kind of saying, do you like a shallow cup? Do you like a full cup? Do you know, are you asking, were you a B? Were you a C? Were you a D? Are you kind of investigating all of those?
All of it.
Like pickaboo. We should
Exactly.
call it pickaboo.
If they're a bilateral, they can do whatever they want. If they're a unilateral, we kind of, we got to work.
You're trying to balance.
Yes, yes. But yeah, I mean, basically come in and do whatever they want. My larger ladies usually downsize and my smaller ladies usually upsize. That's just the way that
I do want to know that I had large boobs prior to cancer. So I always was a 32 large C. There. Argument's over.
So Jaime, from a patient's perspective, is there anything that you can kind of share from that experience that, were you nervous? Do you remember kind of coming in to get scanned? Was it emotional for you? Tell us what it was like from your experience.
I knew Lori, so I wasn't nervous. I was excited, because, I always had large boobs. And so I wanted them back to some degree. So it was kind of a fun process. And it's actually a very quick, fast process. Yeah. She puts like little stickers almost on your chest and scans it, and that's pretty much it.
That's super easy. How did you feel when you got your first set of custom boobies?
I was really excited, and I put a really tight shirt on. And I showed them off to the town. I was like, I don't know who's missed these.
I think you did. Oh, you did.
I did.
No, you did a sundress.
Yes,
I did a sundress because you can go strapless. Yes.
Wow. Really? That's huge.
Yep.
That's a huge thing.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, okay. So you felt good. You felt confident. Any other tips for those that are thinking about making the investment in custom breast forms? Because we are going to get to that technical bit in just a minute, but sharing any points of wisdom. How do you take care of them? I know besides allowing your dogs to play with them as chew toys.
Dana, okay, I not recommend. So I have a very small Chihuahua, and that was a little like snafu in the whole breast cancer prosthesis thing. And I shoved him down my shirt with a rawhide. The rawhide was where I went wrong. And he ate them. And you don't have any like feelings. So that was a problem.
That was a big problem.
Do not put a Chihuahua in
Do not put your dog down
top.
a shirt with a rawhide with breast forms.
Yeah, so that was my number one tip, okay? Don't ever put anything down your shirt that's alive, maybe. Yeah. And then outside of that, I'm just a huge advocate for it. And I think a lot of it was because I had such a hard time doing breast reconstruction. And I know so many women that either have attempted it multiple times or had breast implants and then had, the breast implant illness. People are having really a difficult time with implants and that type of thing. So I'm just a huge advocate because it is a really great, like, middle road. Because I always thought, like, if I'm not going to do implants, I want to have, like, something amazing. I want, like, the Cadillac of like, prosthesis.
Yeah.
And they really are.
Yep.
So, okay, while Lori and I dive into the nitty-gritty about how insurance works for custom breast forms, do you have any other bras that you can maybe give us a little model feature for and get changed so we can see them? Okay, great. So you go change, Jaime. And Lori, why don't you start filling us in here on what the technicalities are behind using health insurance and what should patients be prepared for?
Okay. So under the Women's Health Care Act, it is, they are legally supposed to allow for replacement of your breasts, okay? If it's a group insurance, if it's a private insurance, it doesn't really apply.
Okay. Can you just explain what the difference between group and private insurance is? for those that are newly diagnosed.
Like a large company offering and you going on your own and getting your own insurance. Every policy is different. People come and say, I have Blue Cross and Blue Shield, so a wig is covered. Yes, Blue Cross and Blue Shield does cover a wig, but not every policy. Everyone's is different. Blue Cross and Blue Shield will cover anywhere from 2 bras to unlimited. It depends on your policy, you know.
Okay.
So some will cover 1 breast prosthesis per surgery side every 2 years. Some will cover it every 1. Just depends.
Okay.
I have had some in the past that it's 1 per lifetime. So everybody's policy is different. When I first started, there was like 4 insurance companies. Now there's like 400, you know. So what I recommend is that you call your insurance company. We verify the custom benefits.
Okay.
So I recommend you finding a boutique that does the customs and have them run your benefits. They can tell you if your deductible's been satisfied, if not, how much you would owe. If copay or out-of-pocket also have been satisfied, if not, how much you would owe. Some people may offer payment plans. And then a lot of our ladies wait until mid-year, which is right about now. The phone's off the hook. We're trying to take the scanner from location to location. It's half the year or half the way through the year. So deductibles and copays are all been satisfied. So we recommend that you do that. You can use your FSA, you can use your HSA. It's a medical device, you know, so you can use that as well. I had a lady just yesterday and she's like, can I use my FSA? I've got $500 in there. Yeah, buy as many bras as you want. You know, that's not a problem. So that is it. The one company that does not allow for coverage right now is Medicare. That's the government. So there is, what do you call it? Oh, okay. No. Oh, see, this is where I knew I was going to forget this.
That's okay. We can come back to it. If you have a secondary health insurance to your Medicare, does that change that story?
Secondary, yes. Supplement to Medicare, no.
Okay.
Do you understand the difference?
Okay. Explain.
So a secondary is, say you're still working or something like that, and Medicare is your primary, but you have a secondary insurance just in case Medicare doesn't cover or it's just an additional policy. They may offer coverage. We do have to submit to Medicare as primary for denial to send on to, but some will. Blue Cross, for instance, Blue Cross with a wig. You know, Medicare will deny it, but Blue Cross offers it. If Blue Cross is a supplemental to the Medicare, they will only cover the 20% that Medicare.
Okay.
So, and every insurance company has their own contracted rate. Every insurance company has a different rate with different boutiques, and it's a huge thing that you just have to channel in on. And I strongly recommend working one-on-one with your boutique.
100%, because here's the thing. It's very complicated.
It is.
And for patients, this feels very overwhelming. And we know from what we hear is that they get nervous because they feel like they don't know all of the information. They're not going to get access. They're going to have disappointment. So it's really, really important to call your boutique and just get the lay of the land. You can verify the benefits, right? Yep. With their health insurance cards. You guys are all HIPAA compliant.
Yes, ma'am.
And on top of that, the key component is the prescription.
Oh, yes. We can't bill any insurance without the prescription.
So how do patients get a prescription?
We actually have a form that we filled out, or that we made, that has all the options on there, and we fill it out, check, how many, how often, refills, yada, yada, NPN number, doctor name, blah, blah, blah. We fax it to the doctor, they sign it, give the diagnosis code, fax it back. We have all the information that we need. A lot of times, especially with the insurance companies, they're cracking down and they want to make sure that you have A, B, C, D, and E on the prescription or in the notes or whatever. We have to make sure that we have all of that information. Otherwise, they can come back through an audit and you didn't have this on the prescription. Now we're going to take our money back. You know, you don't want to have to deal with that with these patients. They have enough going on. They have enough to think about. And so we try to take that off their plate. With that being said, depending on the doctor, surgeon, oncologist, plastics, whoever they're going to, if they know to fill it out and just say, you know, 4 mastectomy bras and a right left breast prosthesis with the code, and they send it with them, they're good to go. But if not, you know, usually the boutique, a lot of boutiques work really well with their local doctors.
That's great news. So all in all, if you are at the doctor's office, you can ask for the prescription, get it. It will make things smoother. If you forget to ask and later you find the boutique is likely able to get the prescription needs that you must have in order to fill the prescription.
If they have the manpower, you know,
That's
I mean,
great.
Some may not be able to. We do, just because it's easier for us to do it than it is for them. And then the back and forth, and the doctor didn't put this, and so it's just easier to do it that way, less headache.
Which is so incredible for patients, because it is really overwhelming. And maybe you left the surgeon's office because you were talking about your tumor markers and your bra didn't run across your mind. So it's awesome that we can rely on, you know, you guys as a part of that whole story and say, I was there and I forgot to ask for the prescription. Great. You guys can call, they can call, they can fax it to the boutique, however, you know, whatever that works like. Now, we talked about out-of-pocket and deductible costs, which are, again, very complicated. Knowing your benefits is also part of knowing how you're navigating.
Sure.
I always love to tell our customers, listen, after your mastectomy, your deductible and out-of-pocket cost is probably met.
Exactly. Yep.
Spoiler alert. Absolutely. However, you know, so if you are having a surgery late in the year, October, November, December, you're kind of up against the gun to fill all of this out at the end of the year. So those that are heading into surgery, because this will be posted here later, if you're heading into surgery at the end of the year, make sure that you've got these appointments lined up as well, because you're going to want to utilize your benefits to get these forms and the bras before your benefits restart on January 1.
Correct. Yep, absolutely.
So I know that's a crazy time of year at the boutiques. Everybody's trying to use their benefits. So just be mindful of that as well. And I think that there might be some copays, some out-of-pocket costs that could be additional, right? When needing to, just like a prescription medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sometimes you get your meds for $10, sometimes you get them for $0, sometimes you get them for $100, and that all of those same rules apply to this path of your treatment.
Absolutely, it does. Yep, there are some bras that are within the guidelines of the insurance, and there are some that cost a little bit more. You know, so. But a lot of our ladies are like, well, I didn't have any help paying for my bras before, so I'll take what I can get. You know, we'll just pay the difference.
Absolutely.
If you want something, you know, we're gonna get it. We're women.
You know, listen, absolutely. I say that all the time too. Like, this is a benefit that we get to reap because our cancer is so expensive.
Yes, it is.
So you might as well utilize it because you need these things anyways. And if you could even just get a little bit of help, get some discounts off.
Sure.
Huge win.
Absolutely.
Win.
Yep.
So this is all great. Where did we lose our model?
No, she's right here.
Where is that beautiful face of yours? Ooh, look at what you have on. This, my friend, is the JaimeLee.
Yeah.
It is named after your special model here. I love this bra. I love this bra for so many reasons. First of all, your forms look incredible. The straps
those are not
sexy.
pocketed. These are not pocketed currently.
Oh, you have them up against your skin.
Yeah.
Great. So the bra itself, just correction, bra itself is pocketed. She is wearing the form up against her skin, showing it.
Yeah.
And Jaime, talk about how, like, the front closures, right? Does that help you get in and out with the custom forms better?
Really, your bras are so unique in that you can get your customs like put in and out in all of them fairly easily. Now, if you had to pocket them, you know, any bra, it would be, you'd have to kind of maneuver. But when you have customs on your bras, everything is easy to pop in and out. And you've seen that with me. I will like swap bras within in seconds.
Well, because it's also important and why, you know, why you're just such a beautiful ambassador for us is because you wear the bras flat and you wear them with your forms.
Yeah.
Which is also, you know, just as equal of a point of view and conversation that you want to have with your body and with your fashion and your style. So, you know, we're really honing in on the custom forms today, but many of our styles lay flat, and Jaime is all over AnaOno, modeling both the flat and the forms. And at Studio One and Naturally Yours, Yep. They pretty much have our entire collection. So we're very excited to get to have this very important conversation about custom breast forms. Did I miss any key points about custom breast forms that we should cover?
This has nothing to do with custom breast forms, but I do want to say that your bras are amazing for literally any woman. If you don't have to have breast cancer to swing by one of the locations and pick up a bra. These are beautiful, well-made, gorgeous bras. And a lot of them, actually almost, I think every single one of them has a matching panty. So it's just such a good option, and they're gorgeous. So I don't think that it's just for women that have gone through maybe what we have gone through. I think it's a great option for all women. So that was just my 2 cents.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I know that it is true, and we really love to, we love being boob inclusive. So we say 2, 1, or none.
There you
we
go.
got you covered.
Yeah. There you go.
And I know our boutiques love that because, Lori, I'm sure you see many, many customers from many walks of life. And sometimes, underwire bras are just not feasible for multitudes of reasons.
Yeah. We don't do a lot of underwire at all.
Yeah. And I think now, like this computer Zoom lifestyle, who wants an uncomfortable underwire bra?
Anyway. Right?
Yes.
Gosh.
Right.
So I want to finish this out on those that have shopped for custom breast forms, maybe ran into a few hiccups because of copays and out-of-pocket deductibles and coverage. There's a very important campaign that is just getting up and off the ground right now. And the campaign is called Let Her Choose.
Let her decide.
Jamie calls it Let Her Choose.
Okay, so I was like,
LetHerDecide.org.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Capitol Hill.
Okay.
A bill. That's what it's called. A bill.
A bill. Yeah.
So it was on Capitol Hill.
We were going to get there eventually.
I know, right? I'll figure it out. I remember.
Yeah.
It was on Capitol Hill with the last administration, but since it didn't pass in time, it has to start all over. So you gotta contact your congressman and your senator and let them know that this is the thing. The breast is the only amputated body part that is not covered by Medicare to be custom replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I don't know why that is. I really don't. But to me, it's offensive, and I've not even had breast cancer.
Oh, that's a whole nother Zoom. That's
right,
a whole
right?
100%. 100%.
So, the goal is to get this bill passed. I believe you have to have half the House and half the Senate in order to get it to the next level. Mm-hmm. This is like where it goes way over my head, and that's not my forte. So if you can write letters and phone calls and emails to the government, just letting them know, your local government, and letting them know that, women deserve the right to choose, and they deserve the right to do what's best for them. We have ladies with fibromyalgia and things of that nature where they can't have the heaviness of that form, or reconstruction that has failed. And a lot of sometimes they have like necrotic tissue that needs to be removed. And so then they have like very little tissue, and you've got ribs and all kinds of other things that are right there. That you're going to have to get a very large prosthesis to compensate for the deviation in the chest wall then, and that gets more and more weight, so then you got a bigger one over here. And custom is just hands down, there's nothing like it. There is nothing like it. And I think every woman, if they choose to have a prosthesis of some sort, should at least have that option.
100%. So just to recap, LetHerDecide.org.
Yeah.
It's the state level that is making these decisions. So if you are in the breast cancer community, an advocate, an activist, or just somebody who wants this option, please check out that website, because you can write letters to your local Congress people, letting them know the importance for a woman to decide how she wants to live her life after she has amputated her breasts. Absolutely. From a cancer diagnosis or in a preventative measure. So thank you so much for bringing that to our community and to our audience. We are doing as much as we can to help push this initiative forward. And just to wrap everything up, I know goosebumps all over.
I know, right?
Twice. Lori, why don't you let everybody know? Well, actually, let's switch that. Jaime, let's let everybody know how to find you, find Spero-Hope, follow your flat story. Give us a little bit of a plug on how people can engage with you.
Okay. So my Instagram is Spero, and it's SPERO _Hope _LLC _. And that's how you can find me.
And your website to get the deodorant
is Spero-Hope-LLC.com.
Perfect. All right,
Yep.
Lori, how can everybody find you? And we're going to put all of this contact information afterwards, but tell people how they can find you guys.
Okay, so right now we have 2 websites, but we're in the process of merging to just one. So it's naturallyyourshop.com or studioiboutique.com. We're going to be getting rid of the Studio One and just going with Naturally Yours, but right now you've got both. They will, you know, we're trying to get with the times and make it a little more user-friendly.
Listen, it all takes time. It all takes effort. As long as they can find you. Again, we'll put the contact information down here at the bottom. You can always email us at AnaOno, cs@anaono.com. Reach out to us. Find out what boutique is closest to you, as well as shop our store locator at anaono.com. And you can just type in your zip code, find your state, call your local boutique, and rock and roll from there. So I thank you both so very much for sharing this space with me today, informing and educating our community about custom breast forms. And you're both beautiful and fabulous, and I love you both so much.
Oh, so
we love you.
Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how awesome this was to be a part of. You are going to rock this whole thing. I'm so excited to see what's next.
We love you, Dana.
Perfect.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you
Love you guys.
Bye.
Who ends the live?
I do.
Oh, okay.
All right.